Hey, have a seat. So you got some questions. Let me know, how can I help? What can I answer for you? That's a great question. In fact, it's an important question because it took me years to learn how to do that. I was so caught up with me. It's like all about me. And then I learned from Brian Tracy, you go from here I am to there you are. And that matters. So if you want to connect more deeply with your audience, one of the keys is connecting more deeply with yourself. When I first started working with Mark Brown, he asked me this great question. And he said, choose a child in your life. And he said, if you were going to die tomorrow, what one lesson that you learned from your life would you want to pass on to that child? Wow, that really made me think. And he said, Darren, don't just answer it now. Just think about it for a few days. And what Mark was causing me to do was go deeper inside me to see what matters more to me. And then the second way to do that is connecting with yourself right before you go to the stage. When we walk up there, we're worried about the microphone and the audience and the lights and all this. We need to focus on the intention for the audience and almost recommit to that just before I go up. So I ask myself, what's my intention for this audience this day? And am I present? Am I right here, right now? So connecting with you helps you connect with them. Does that help? That's an interesting question. Honestly, the best way to do that is with a coach. But it depends if you're ready for a coach or not. I think I'm so glad I had my experience before I started getting coached. Because if a coach starts throwing out some world-class content or concepts or techniques, you're not necessarily going to understand them. So they can help you with that one speech, which isn't bad. But I realized I was so glad I had the fundamentals down. So when I started working with a coach, it made more sense. And it permeated through all my different presentations and different stories. So getting a coach is one of the fastest ways to get there, but not everyone can afford a one-on-one coaching. It's not cheap. And then the other challenge is, who's a good coach? And what's their strength? And does their strength match my challenges, my weaknesses? And that's really an even deeper and more important question. After years of coaching, decades of coaching speakers at all levels, I kind of narrowed it down to 4 skill sets that you really got to be good at if you want to own the stage. Some people are good at some and not as good at others. So you really got to take the ones you're weak at, make them good, and take the ones you're good at and make them strong. So those 4, I call them the core 4. So number 1 is creating and structuring your presentation, literally putting it together. Hey, if you can afford a world-class speechwriter, that's great. But even then, I don't think it's a good process or a good plan. Number 2, stories. But it's not just storytelling. It's storytelling that elicits emotion, that is really strong and powerful. Telling a world-class story. That's number 2. Number 3 would be humor or engagement. Make them laugh. Get them to love you. And then finally, own the stage. That's your personal delivery and skill set. Like, that is really important because people at the world-class level, they have different styles. So my style isn't the same as Mark Brown's, isn't the same as Craig Valentine's or Ed Tate's. We're all very different, but we all have the foundation exactly the same. We know what we're doing because we've been taught and trained and doing this for years. So what was my biggest mistake? Well, can I borrow that pad there? So real quick, so let's just say own the stage is here. So my writing's horrible. Let's just say, here's you are now and you want to get to owning the stage. The biggest mistake that I made is I worked really hard in the wrong direction. I worked really hard. I didn't get training early enough. So I was doing stage time everywhere I could, but I wasn't actually working on those 4 skills that I talked about because I didn't know any better. So if I was to correct that now, I think direction is most important. Not only direction, but aiming, taking your time and focused energy and effort and being trained, and then getting on stage and actually putting those principles into place. So it becomes internal to you, it becomes a part of you. And then the second thing that I didn't do right was, even though we might have direction, we're all over. We need somebody to correct us. We need coaching. Because even though we might get some good training, we bring our past with us. And I really needed Mark's coaching to kind of kill, no, this way, no, this way, no, this way, this is what I meant. So we really need direction and correction, because I worked really hard in the wrong direction. If I had gotten coaching and direction early on in my career, who knows where I would be right now. It would be pretty awesome. But I'm thankful I got it when I did, and it's never too soon to get world-class coaching. That's a great question. We have to be careful that we don't compare our journey to other people's journeys. I remember watching this guy go up for his first time, and he killed the audience. And I had been doing it for a year and a half, working my butt off. And I asked Vinny the same question, my mentor. I said, how do you know who's going to make it? He said, that's easy, whoever keeps going. But there's an even better question or quote by Patricia Fripp. She says it this way, brilliant, makes me think. She said, tell me what you say you want and show me 1 week in your life. And you and I will both know if you're ever going to achieve that. Tell me what you say you want. Show me 1 week of your life, and you and I will both know if you'll ever achieve it. That's just so brilliant, because we spend so much time. Oh, I'm busy. I got to watch Netflix. You know, time is such a huge issue. Do I have time? Well, do you want to be great or not? Like, I help serious people get where they want to go. If you're not serious, if you're not going to put any time, you're not going to get there. If you can't put aside at least an hour a week, think about it. Anybody who's world class, how do they train? You can't get a $10,000 speech. You can't blow the audience away if you aren't willing to train for that. So think about your week, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in serious learning, and then serious applying of what you've learned. That's what matters. That's truly the power of it. So who's gonna make it? Do you have what it takes? Are you willing to be trained to be great? That's the question. What's the best advice I ever got? I think it actually technically has nothing to do with speaking. There's a great quote that I heard by Jim Rohn. He said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The people around us affect us more than we'd probably really care to acknowledge. So let's just say your top 5. So who are your top 5? So think about that. Who are your top 5? Are they world class? Are they going to help you go where you want to go? Are they going to encourage you? So let's just say, if you hung around with 4 people or 5 people who eat fast food all the time, would you be more or less likely to eat fast food? If you hung around with 5 people who exercise all the time, would you be more or less likely to exercise? So the people we spend our time with influence our thinking, and our thinking influences our actions. So when I heard the Jim Rohn quote, I had some friends, some high school buddies who are great guys and well-meaning, but they would kind of make fun of me when I was driving 2.5 hours to go on stage for 5 minutes for free. They didn't get it. So I had to take them out of my top 5 and put them in my outer circle rather than my inner circle. And what I did is I took Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy in my car and put them in my inner circle. I let them influence me. They're the ones who said, go right to people who are the best. They think differently. And that was really insightful for me. And I saw the effect that it had. So who are in your top 5? And honestly, that's one of the reasons I created Stage Time University, was to help people. I love having coffee, I love answering questions, but if I could spend 2 days with you or 3 days with you and show you those world-class processes that I've learned and developed with some of my own mentors, I would show you world-class techniques. And Stage Time University is exactly what that is. So check that out, find out some more, dive in, so you can see how if we have more time together, I could really help you own the stage. Cheers.